was scrolling through Twitter, and there was a tweet from NBA G League alerting me that Cam Spencer was, quote, unconscious, and at that point, he had 46 points with 5 minutes to play for the Hustle last night. He had made 11 threes, so I clicked on the little link, and it took me to the end of the game and the sweet, sweet sounds of John Roser and Eli Savoy, and I got to watch the end of the Cam Spencer Memphis Hustle experience as Cam Spencer, with the game tied, made a great cut to the basket, had a finish to give the Hustle the lead, and then, with my very own eyes, got to watch Yuki Kawamura pass it to Cam Spencer for his 12th three of the night. Cam Spencer had 51 points on 75% shooting. 75% shooting. Yeah, I'm excited. Good. I'm ready for it. Give us another one. Another one. Cam Spencer. We got the full Cam Spencer highlights from last night. We waited so long for Cam Spencer to come back. I was revisiting our media day conversations where we found out Cam Spencer had the ankle injury, and I was like, oh, what a bummer. What a typical experience for a Grizzlies fan. Another player dealing with an injury. We awaited. We've seen him in spurts, but now getting some serious run with the Hustle as a two-way player. And he's mostly known and anticipated for his scoring outside, so he makes 12 threes, which is absurd. But I was really impressed with his ability to get to the basket and not just be a three-point shooter last night. This is awesome. Like, may I remind you that Cam Spencer was the 53rd pick in this year's draft. Cam Spencer, national champion. Cam Spencer, who in 4 of his 5 college seasons shot over 44% from three. And they let the Grizzlies get him at 53, CJ? Look at this man. Look at this man.
Yeah, this is exciting. This is good stuff right here. Anytime somebody's going off in your minor league system, it's like, oh, that gives us some hope about the future, or whatever the future might look like. And so you're talking about Cam Spencer, who's at the wing position. And the Grizzlies, unfortunately, this year are pretty loaded at the wing position. But 1 year.
What's one more?
1 year, you know.
What's one more?
Somebody, or even later on this year, you might make some deals, some trades. You might need somebody to come in here. How many times have we seen like an NBA team in the middle of the season make a trade that leaves them with like 7 guys on their bench?
Right.
And then you end up struggling through the course of the game. Everybody's winded or something like that. That could happen this year. And then, boom, you just call Cam Spencer up for a game or two until you get the new guys acclimated, and Cam will be able to step in here and perform. What's to say a bunch of injuries don't befall this team, right? And then it's like, where do we go? Like, you could go reach down into the G League and pull a 50-point scorer, a playmaker, somebody who is just tenacious on the court, a true competitor. You go down there and grab him, and you can bring him up and maybe weather that storm a bit better than you have in years past last year. Right, like I think that, and we say this about everybody, and I think it loses its luster because we say it about everybody. That's a competitor right there. Like, that's Cam Spencer's best trait, best quality. Is
Remember
the fact
when he said he would die for a game?
And did you?
And was serious?
You believed him.
Yeah.
Because he would. Like, this Cam
You don't
Spencer,
laugh at that. You go,
no, you're like, oh,
understood.
Okay. Yeah,
Noted.
you're a true psycho, right? Like, that's what you are. Cam Spencer's best trait is his ability to go out there and just compete, and that's what he did last night. And when you're competing against dudes who, listen, this one game I don't want to make too big of a sweeping judgment. Cam is probably too good to be in the G League, right? Like, and so when you're playing against dudes who you're that much better than, if you're a competitor, you're going to go out there and you're just going to lay into them and let them have it. 51 points.
75%.
No, that's not supposed to happen.
You don't do the C's get degrees in shooting percentages in the NBA. 75% is wild behavior. And it's just crazy because when you think back on like the excitement of Cam early in Summer League and where he comes in and he plays like an absolute dog and a psycho, like you said, and he's kind of getting the majority of the buzz, almost usurping the buzz of the Grizzlies' 37th pick or not 37th, 39th pick in Jaylen Wells, and you're thinking, is Cam Spencer, the guy on the two-way contract, better than Jaylen Wells? Au contraire, now you have Jaylen Wells, who has the 3rd most total minutes on a Grizzlies team that is 14-7 and 3rd in the Western Conference. And you had Cam Spencer injured for the early portion of the season, and now he's doing this in the G League. It's another hit. And I get it, like prisoner of the 51 points on 75% shooting moment. But the Grizzlies front office ability to find talent late in the draft continues to be a massive positive for this team, because not only is it Cam Spencer this year at 53 and Jaylen Wells at 39, you go back again on this 14-7 Grizzlies team, a rotation piece who has been out in Vince Williams Jr., who was the 47th pick, and another expected rotation piece who's been out in Gigi Jackson, who was the 45th pick. That is mining for gold late in the draft, and the Grizzlies have seemingly struck. And when it comes to how the new CBA operates and contracts and trying to get guys on cheaper contracts and the importance of that, these are just huge wins across the board. So I'm excited to see Cam. I've got to get out to South Haven. I had a weird premonition yesterday because our dear friend Jenna, who works here at the Grizzlies and does so much great work for the Memphis Hustle, the queen of the Memphis Hustle, we'll call her. It was their Winter Wonderland game, and she posted all these pictures from it ahead of the game last night. And I was like, I should really get my booty in the car and drive to South Haven and experience Hustle Winter Wonderland. They gave away these sweet beanies that I now don't have because I didn't go, because I was glued to the couch watching Broncos Browns on a Monday night when I could have been in South Haven watching Yuki Kawamura and Cam Spencer. What was I thinking? These are decisions I need to be better at.
You were talking about second round picks. Those, I think you can throw Santi in there also.
Sure. Yeah.
Not a second rounder, a super late first rounder. Was he 30?
And an unknown. Yes.
Was he 30th?
Yes.
That's one pick from the second round, and you talk about a team that's 14-7, and what Santi Aldama has meant for this team. Just his improvement year in, year out. That's the other thing that this franchise has done a really good job of here in the past 4 or 5 years. I'm going to say Desmond Bane's class. What's that, 2021? Right? I think that's when it started to be, these guys can develop people as well. You think about what Santi was, not just when he came in, but what he was last year. And then you look at him now, and it's, he's much more confident shooting and scoring the basketball. That, I think that could be, you could say, that's to be expected. That's what he was doing well when he first came into the league. You know what else he's doing well? Rebounding at a really high level right now. One of the better rebounding bigs, one of the better rebounding power forwards in the NBA right now. And he can play the three now. He's quick enough laterally to keep dudes in front of him enough to not be somebody who's just getting blown by out there on the perimeter. A lot of that has to do with the player's mentality. Are you going to commit to these things we're telling you to work on? But a lot of it also has to do with the franchise's ability, the program's ability to get players to buy in and to develop those skills and those traits. So it's not only that they're finding dudes, diamonds in the rough late in drafts, they're developing them as well. Jaylen Wells didn't come into the NBA and people were like, that's a good defensive player there. No, that was the knock on Jaylen Wells. Mm-hmm. And he bought in, and they saw him buy in, like, okay, kid, we're going to throw all these assignments at you and see what you can do. And he's held up just fine at this level. Like, that's really encouraging to see. And like you said, because of the way the CBA sets up and the way that the salary cap sets up, you don't want to go into the tax. You don't want to go into luxury tax and the second apron. You don't want to do any of that.
Super duper luxury tax.
The megalopolis tax.
The Sharknado tax.
You don't want to do that. So having guys
megalopolis
having guys who you can keep at a reasonable price and salary, that matters a ton. And this is a small market. You're not going to be able to lure those free agents in the way that a larger market might be able to. Yeah. So having them already in your franchise matters.
You want to know what you can't teach either?
What?
Wearing a T-shirt under your jersey. You can't teach that. And the Grizzlies have 2 of them. Vince Williams Jr. wears a T-shirt, and Cam Spencer wears a T-shirt.
I had a buddy.
And those guys are true psychos.
The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hart, live every weekday at 8 a.m.